Gotta make sure everything is working right. Make sure my volume is working good. How's everybody doing? Welcome back. Get right in the camera. Welcome back to another After Pill live stream. Today is going to be one of those lessons, right? Today is going to be one of those legendary After Pill lessons. One of these that you have to play back to and that you're going to learn a lot from. Because as you know, I drop gems on top of gems on top of gems, right? I drop nothing but gems, to be honest with you. But tonight's live stream is going to be one of those where you look back on and you're going to be like, it's going to be like a book, right? It's going to be like a book, right? A book that you keep on the bookshelf, right? You're going to look back and be like, hey, man, he was spitting some real deal Holyfield, when I watched this in 2025, right? You're gonna wake up and it's 2030. You're gonna wake up and it's 2030 and you're gonna look back and look at this replay and you're gonna be like, dang, dude was really spitting some gems out here, right? Dude was really out here spitting the real deal Holyfield. He's the reason why I'm here. He's the reason why, I'm doing this. He's the reason why I'm doing that. Moy, what is going on? Shouts out to Moy. And I have to give a special shout out to TC Prime, right? Me and TC Prime, we're collabing again tomorrow. Y'all don't want to miss it. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be live. It's going to be action packed. So make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to TC Prime if you haven't already. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're new, go ahead and hit that like button as you come on into the chat. Welcome, congregation. Welcome, ninjas. Welcome, ninjas. Welcome. What's going on with y'all? How was y'all's week? What's today? Monday? Today's Monday? Yep, today is Monday. Dang. So PSA announcement. Same time tomorrow. Same time tomorrow, boy. I got a special topic for tomorrow. I'm not gonna say it right now. Even TC don't even know right now. TC don't even know. So I'm gonna hit him up probably tonight to get him prepared for it. But me and TC, we're gonna have some back and forth, right? We're gonna have some back and forth, arguing about, I can't tell you. Shh, I can't tell you. But tomorrow's live stream is gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. Y'all not gonna want to miss it. But PSA announcement. So I've just had a schedule change, with the main job. So outside of tomorrow, Tuesdays, I'm going live with TC Prime. On Tuesdays, I go live with TC Prime. We're doing like this whole little collab joint this month. So Tuesdays at 8 p.m. I'll be live, right? Mondays as well, I may be live in the evening time. You may get two live streams on Monday. But for the rest of the week, I won't be live in the evenings anymore. I won't be live in the evenings. So for those of you who probably at work, right, you getting some money. Hopefully you ninjas getting some money. I hope you ninjas getting some money out here. So for those of you who are at work, right, I'll be live in the morning times, in the morning to afternoon times, around there. Right. So no more evening live streams. I'm sorry for all of you guys. You may want to catch me when you get off work and all of that shiznit. But no more, no more evening. Yep, more sorry. No more evening streams. No more evening streams. So it's transferring over to the morning because my schedule has changed. But listen, a ninja getting paid more. A ninja getting paid more. This is what it's all about, ninja. It's all about going to get that bag, ninja. It's all about going. I don't choose comfortability, right, more. I don't choose comfortability, right. I don't choose the peaceful way. But that's something that we're going to be touching on in tonight's live stream, right? Shouts out to, I know JC ain't in here, but shouts out to JC. Me and JC, we had a video call earlier today, earlier this evening, and me and JC, we it was a good little chat, had some laughs, got some laughs in, and talked about a little, life, talked about work, talked about experiences and things of that nature. So shouts out to JC, but this basically, that conversation will lead into what we're going to talk about tonight too, because JC is young, right? For all of you young cats out there, JC is around 22, right? If you don't know, I'm 29, going into my 30s. So, I got some season on me, right? I got some season on me, sprinkle a little season on there, right? So me and JC, we had some conversations, and this is what a lot of guys need to understand, right? This is going to be what we're talking about tonight. But listen, I don't know if anybody's ever told you, right? I don't know if anybody has ever made you aware, right? And I had to learn up until this point, right? I didn't just come out the gate understanding this. I just didn't come out the gate, being aware of this. Actually, I probably had less time being aware of all of this than, the latter, right? So as you guys read from the title, yep, what life is not easy, exactly. As y'all read from the title, listen, F peace, fuck peace, embrace war, right? Let me take a sip of water. Embrace war. There's no such thing as peace, not in this life. Too many, too many men, and there's men who are still learning, especially for the younger men. There's no such thing as peace. I don't know on what planet, right? On what continent, what country, what part of the world, what city. Listen, peace is a fallacy. Peace is a fallacy. Man, y'all come on in and hit that like button. Because we're about to spit in here. Peace is a fallacy. Peace is just as much as a illusion as about what you dudes think about these chicks. It's just as much as an illusion, right? Peace is one of those things that is an illusion, just like what you think about women, right? Your whole life, you're going to be at war. Your whole life, you're going to be at war. There's no running from it. The only thing that will separate you from what I call life is death. That's the only way you getting out of here. None of us, none of us are getting out of here alive. The only way to be at peace, Ninja, is through death. That's the only way you getting out. Nick, what's going on? What's up with it? That's the only way you getting out of here is through death. There's too many men, they want the easy way out. Too many men, they want to avoid the hard route. Too many men want to find the easy way out. They want to avoid conflict. They want to avoid, confrontation. They want to avoid the mishaps of life, right? Kel said we're in spiritual warfare. You're gonna forever be in all kinds of warfare, right? You're gonna be at war with people. You're gonna be at war with the unknown, right? You're gonna be at war with yourself, right? You're gonna be at war with a lot of things, right? Everybody always quick to say, I just want peace. I just want peace. Ninja, where? Have you checked your mind lately? Some of you are not even centered mentally. Some of you are not even centered emotionally. Some of you are not, centered psychologically. Some of you are not even centered in your life, Ninja. You're not even centered in your life. Financials all over the place, emotions all over the place, your mind all over the place, right? You drinking, right? Throwing back shots, throwing back alcohol, right? You balling on a budget. Right, that chick that you messing with got your psyche all messed up. You wondering where she at, Ninja, looking and seeing where she at, and texting her, seeing where she at. Hey, you ain't texting me back. You supposed to be home, ass Ninja. Right, trying to keep up with her instead of keeping up with your money. Right, most of you don't even have your life intact. Right, talking about peace, there is no peace, none at all. Right, and my ideology is choose war over peace, right? At this point, especially as men, right? Some of you may still be learning. Shouts out to Cartier. What's going on, Cartier? Some of you may still be learning. However, just like every other thing requires turmoil, right? Requires it to be under stress, right? Diamonds. How are diamonds created? You have to put certain minerals, right, under stress. You have to put a certain this under stress, under pressure, under heat, right? That's how you get diamonds, right? When you go to the gym, how do you build muscle? Right? How do you build muscle? Well, you have to put your muscles under duress. You have to put your body under stress. How do you get a bigger body? How do you get more endurance? How do you get more stamina? How do you get more anything? How do you get growth in general? Right? It's not going in there and choosing the lightest weight that you can. Right? Going in the gym and not testing your limits. How are you going to grow? How are you going to grow to achieve something greater? How are you going to get to the next level? Right? How are you going to take it to the next level if you're never going after, right? If you're never going after the things that make you uncomfortable. The gym is uncomfortable. The gym is extremely uncomfortable. Right? I'm in there all the time. Sometimes I don't feel like working out. Sometimes I don't feel like putting in the work. But you know what? I do it. Right? Even though I'm trained at this point, but sometimes I don't want to go. Sometimes I'm under the weather. Sometimes my body's aching. Sometimes I'm sick. I got a little cold or something. Sometimes I don't feel like doing it, but I still do it because it's training me to endure. Too many men, they don't want to endure. They don't want to endure. You don't want to endure. That's why you're not seeing growth in your life. That's why you're not seeing growth in your financials. That's why you're not seeing growth with the chicas. That's why you're not seeing growth in anything, because you run away from what is hard. Right? You run away from what's hard instead of what's going to make you the man that you so-called want to be. Choose peace for what? Why choose peace? Right? Just like I said, there is no peace on earth. Everywhere you go, there's going to be something. Right? There's going to be moments in time where you're happy. There's going to be moments in time where you're enjoying yourself. There's going to be moments in time where, you're enjoying the people that are around you. Yeah, sure. There's going to be moments in time. There's going to be moments of time where there's absolutely nothing going on and you're just in complete bliss. But there's always going to be something, whether that's internal or external. Choose war. War means growth, right? Choose failure. Failure means growth. Moore says, choose the gratification that comes from long-term work, not short-term pleasure. Exactly. Right? Too many men are mentally weak for this reason. Shouts out to Moore for saying that. Too many men are weak for that exact reason. Too many men are weak for that exact reason. Weak emotionally, weak mentally, weak physically, because they want the short-term gratification instead of the long-term results from putting in that work. Right? Even and I'm not just speaking just willy-nilly. I'm speaking from experience and just having understood this. Just now coming to the wisdom of, dang, it's about the journey, right? It's about the constant war. There's many things that I've wanted to quit. There's many things that I didn't want to continue to go through with. There's many things. Shouts out to JC checking in. I was just talking about you earlier, JC. Right? There's many things that I wanted to quit. There's many things that I didn't want to continue to go through with. Right? But I had to train myself. I had to develop myself. Right? I had to put my mind under duress. I had to put my body, my physical, my spiritual in stressful environments. Once upon a time, I tried to run. Right? I wanted the easy way. I wanted the easy way out. I didn't want to take the hard way, right? Especially looking at social media, you seeing all of these young guys ball to their fall, driving nice cars. You seeing everybody live a certain way. You asking yourself, what am I doing wrong? What I can do exactly what he's doing. How come I'm not where he is? How come I'm not achieving what he's achieving? Right? I was trying to run from the hard stuff. Right? So even I had to suffer the consequences of running away from the hard stuff early on when I should have ran into it head on. I should have ran into it head on. Maybe I would be further along if I had chose war, right? But I didn't want to choose war. I didn't want to choose the journey, right? I didn't want to choose the hard stuff. I wanted the easy route, right? Cartier says comparison is the thief of joy. This is why I don't go on social media. It is, but eventually you just have to train yourself. Now I look at it. Now I look at it as motivation, right? Because I understand now, right? My mind is more developed. I know what I'm looking at. I know what I'm viewing. I know what I'm intaking, right? I know now. Before I didn't know. So now when I log on, I look at it, I see a dude driving a Lamborghini. I'm like, yeah, that's motivation right there. When I look outside and I see my neighbor crank up his loud ass Corvette, yeah, that's motivation to me. Okay. Because I'm competitive. I'm extremely competitive. I'm extremely competitive. Right. So when I see a Lambo, when I see somebody doing better than me, okay, I see you. Give me another 3 years. Give me another 4 years, ninja. Give me another 5 years, ninja. Watch this. Watch this. I may not be at the Lambo level, but I'll be close, ninja. I'll be close. I'll be watching, ninja. I may have the Corvette, ninja. I may not have the Lambo, but I may have the Corvette. I'm right behind you, ninja. Right? I'm right behind you. Now it doesn't go as fast as that Lambo, but ninja, this will get up to about 160. This will get up to about 170. So I'm right behind you, ninja. And then it's a matter of time before I catch right up with you. So yes, comparison is the thief of joy for those who allow it to be a thief. But I don't allow it to be a thief. I allow it to be the very motivation, right, to drive me even further to my goals and my aspirations, right? But that's just me being mentally strong, right? That's just me understanding what I'm looking at, right? JC says, I be telling people comparison sometimes the giver of joy. That's a good one right there. To be honest, you always got something to be grateful for, right? Comparison could be the giver of joy as well. That's a good one, right? That's a good one. Comparison, dang, that is a good one. Comparison sometimes is the giver of joy. Absolutely. Absolutely. It can be the giver of joy or it can be the thief of joy. It depends on who's looking at it. If you one of these weak-minded incels, then yeah, if you're looking at it, right, and you're not intaking it the way that you're supposed to intake it, then yeah, you can look at that man and get jealous, right? You can look at that man and be envious. You can look at that man and say, hey, why does he deserve it and why don't I deserve it? Or you can look at that person and be like, you know what? You know what? I like what he's doing. He's motivated me. Right? Jack Frost, what the God? I wish I had some sound effects in here. I wish I had some sound effects in here. Jack Frost came in with the 50-50 ball. Ninja, I need to go get my soundboard, Ninja. I need to go ahead and put my soundboard together because Ninja, this Ninja came in here with the 50 ball. Ninja, shouts out to Jack Frost. Hold up. We gonna have to pin this, Ninja, because this is a record for this Ninja. Can we pin this? How do I pin this? Dang, I can't even pin this. I guess it has to be something else. Dang, Ninja, I wish I could pin this. I'll pin this to the top of the chat, Ninja. Shouts out to Jack Frost, Ninja. That Ninja over there balling. That Ninja over there balling. I appreciate that, Jack Frost. You always showing up. You always showing out, Ninja. You always showing up. You always showing out. Shouts out to Jack Frost. Came in with the 50 ball. Ninja, I had my own sound effects. Did you hear me? I was like, oh, God damn. God damn, Jack. That's the sound effect for y'all ninjas right there. But back to the topic. I'm not trying to get too distracted. Cartier laughing. But yeah, I had to learn over time. And this goes for in the workplace, this goes for family, this goes for everything. Right? There's been plenty of family. There's family. Most of my family I don't talk to. Right? Majority of my family I don't talk to for one reason or another. Right? It is what it is. I've had to learn that even family members, people that are close to you, friends, right? I've had a best friend since freaking elementary school, had to cut off. Best friend since elementary school, right? We went to elementary school together. We went to middle school together. We went part of high school together, right? Until I went to another high school eventually, right? Still talked, even after high school, but eventually, his life wasn't matching mine. Had to cut him off. Family members not matching what I view as excellence, not matching what I view of something that I want to keep around, right? Whether they displaying certain character traits or just completely just outgrowing people. Listen, I don't choose peace. I don't want to sit back and kick it with people that I don't want to kick it with, right? I'm not the type to sit here and fake it with you. I'm not the type to sit here and shake hands and just, yeah, everything's all good. No, if I don't like you, if I don't see you as somebody being on the same mindset, on the same frequency as I am, I don't want anything to do with you. So I've had to sever relationships. I had to sever, close relationships. There's people that I've loved. There's people that I've deemed, cherished that were close to me, right? There's people who've betrayed me. There's people who've went against the grain, right? For the longest, I've tried to, run away from these things, right? Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to you? Right? Why did this turn out that way? And shouts out to JC. Me and JC was just having this conversation earlier, right? And he's a young guy, so it's a lot of stuff that he's still figuring out. Especially because when I was 22, these are some of the exact things I was trying to figure out. And really, up into these past 2-3 years, I'm just now coming into this wisdom. And you have to embrace war. You have to embrace war. There's no sense of making peace with people. People don't understand peace, right? JC, we were just talking about human behavior, right? We were just talking about human behavior. Most human beings don't understand niceness. Most human beings don't understand kindness. And even if they do, right? Let's just say that they do. They want to take advantage of those who show their true colors, right? And when I say those that show their true colors, I mean the truly genuine, right? The ones who would really take their shirt off their backs and give it to you, right? The ones that don't have to be asked, right, to be a decent human being, right? Those kind of people are they're taken advantage of in life. Those are the ones that they really want to slit your throat, right? That's just facts. Jack Frost says, your content keeps me going through the day. I appreciate you. Shouts out to Jack Frost, man. That really means a lot to me, man. But when you choose peace, which I have many times, it never goes in the direction that I feel like it's gonna go. Right? The more I chose peace, and this is real deal. This is real deal. Listen up. The more I chose peace, the more others waged war. Hmm. The more I chose peace, the more others waged war. People don't recognize white flags, right? People don't know true peace. Exactly. People don't understand white flags. They don't recognize white flags. They don't acknowledge white flags, right? And unfortunately, this is the nature of humanity. This is the nature of humanity. There's nothing that I can do to change it. There's nothing you can do to change it. This is the nature of humanity. Human beings don't understand peace. Human beings understand war. Human beings understand conflict. Why do you think that drama sells? Why do you think the love and hip hops and the real housewives, of whatever city, why do you think the drama sells? Why do you think the Lifetime movie sells? Why do you think, basically our whole dynamic is based on drama and conflict, right? Division. Because it sells. People like to be divided. They like to be that way, right? They love the drama. They love the conflict. Most people have nothing going on for themselves. Most people have absolutely nothing going on for themselves. They're miserable. They're at a dead end job. Ninjas at home. They hate their wife. They hate the dang on family. They hate everything. Ninjas don't make enough money to enjoy life. All of his money goes out the door, women included, right? She hates her life as well. Go to work miserable. Can't wait to gather with other miserable people to talk about somebody else that may be doing something above and beyond, right? Who may be standing out. They can't wait to get to work to put somebody down, to exercise some kind of power over them. Human beings are despicable. This is the nature of humanity. There is no peace, right? And if you ever sit back and choose peace, that right there, that will be the death of you. Because you'll sit back and I'm choosing peace. I'm trying to make amends with people. I'm trying to shake hands with people. I'm trying to be nice to people, right? I'm trying to give people the shirt off my back. Why aren't people responding? Why aren't people responding the way that I thought that they were going to respond? Why aren't people being nice to me back? Why are people instead being colder towards me the nicer I get? Well, nobody respects the nice guy. The nice guy eats shit. The nice guy is not respectable in their eyes. People only respect savages. I said it. People, despite what society tries to push out there and try to be like, oh, like, society is all put together and we like a society that abides by the law. That's not true. It's not true. Exactly, Cartier. The good man ain't shit either. The good man ain't shit either. Society doesn't respect the good guy. Women don't respect the good guy. So what does that tell you, ninjas? What does that tell you? Well, that can only conclude that society, life, women, other men only respect savagery. And I'm not telling you to disregard being a kind person. I'm not telling you to disregard your character. I'm not telling you to disregard your set of morality or any of that. I'm not telling you to disregard any of that. But what I am telling you is what is real. And what is real is peace won't do anything for you. Kindness is one thing, but never be nice. Absolutely. Be kind, right? But not nice. Kindness, not nice. Be kind. Be respectful, right? But always watch people like they have something on you. Always watch people like they're ready to betray you, because 9 times out of 10, people are waiting for you to slip up. Right. I know it sounds like on a verge of like paranoia, but I've tested this for a long time. I've tested these theories, and what I was just talking to JC about, on our video call. I was just talking about that with him, and I told him I would throw things out there to people just to test them. Right? I'll give people different personalities, right? I may be joking and laughing with this person, and I may be serious with this person, right? Because I told you guys, I'm a people watcher. I really love human behavior. I love how people react to different things. I sit back and watch how people interact with each other. It's fascinating, how we treat one another, whether that's good, bad, or evil, right? It's just completely fascinating how we treat each other. But I love just to dissect how people interact with one another. So I'll throw different personalities out there to people. I'll throw out different, if I have something intimate, right? I throw out intimate details on purpose, right? I throw out things on purpose just to see, okay, who would this get back to? Let me see. Let me see if I tell somebody a certain intimate detail, right? There's certain intimate details that you keep on this side of the box, right? Something that you can use at your disposal, right? Just some bait that you can throw at somebody, right? So I use bait to throw at people just to see what will happen. And lo and behold, 9 times out of 10, most people will show their true colors, and it's not always good. It is not always good. It is not all the way good, right? JC, exactly. Don't put anything past anyone. I had to learn the hard way, right? Trusting the wrong people, right? Telling certain details to people just, well, without a thought, without consciousness, just spilling beans on something, right? Nowadays, I'll say certain things just to see how people will react, just to see who would it get back to, right? Listen, peace doesn't make you stronger. Peace doesn't make you stronger at all. I know what they told you. I know what you've been, programmed to believe, right? I know what you've been programmed to believe. I know what they told you, but peace don't make you stronger. Peace will never make you stronger. Because searching for peace means that you most of the time it means that you're avoiding, everything that would make you stronger. Choosing peace means you're avoiding conflict that can build your character, right? It means avoiding a fire that can mold you into the man that you want to be. Because I know most of y'all want to be the tippity top. You want to be the cream of the crop. You want to be soldiers. You want to be captains and lieutenants. You want to lead. You want to make money, right? You want to have abundance, right? You want to have some beautiful women, right? You want to have some other soldiers, some other strong line men around you. I know. But peace won't achieve that, right? I enjoy the thing about me at this point in my life, 29 years old. I enjoy being battle tested now. And now this is something that I had to get used to. I enjoy being battle tested, right? I look for the battles now. Right now, don't get me wrong. I pick my battles wisely. Right now, I'm not saying go out here and challenge everything. No, sometimes you have to know when to back down and come back to it later. Right? Not everything is meant to be challenged. Not everything is meant to draw your sword on. Now, of course, you have to use discernment. You have to use discernment, an extreme amount of discernment to pick and choose your battles. Now, I do pick and choose my battles, but I love to be battle tested because at this point, I understand and recognize and have enough discernment to understand this is what's going to get me to the next level. For the longest, I was avoiding conflict. I was avoiding going the hard route. I was avoiding going through all the vines and the sticky trees, right? The sticky bushes. Y'all know the bushes that you got pushed in when you were a kid and you didn't know that it had the little thorns, right? Little thorns on the bushes. Yeah, those bushes. You got to crawl through those thorn bushes. You got to crawl through all the vines, your skin getting scratched up. You in there crying in the dirt and the mud. Ninja, yeah. Now I don't avoid it. Now, if you ask me whether I want to take, the clean road or the road over here that has all the vines, it has all the sticky bushes, I'm taking the sticky bushes because I know what's on the other side. Nothing has never came to me, right? Everything that I've wanted, everything that I've asked for, everything that I've written down as far as aspirations and goals go, none of those things ever came to me from going the easy route. And that's just 100% fact. None of it. Everything that I've ever accomplished, goals that I've written down, they've never came to me easy. They've came to me only taking the hard route. Swear to God. Each and every time I tried to take an easy way, each and every time I chose peace, things were stripped away. Right? Every time I chose peace, things became less peaceful. Imagine that. Imagine choosing peace and everything become unpeaceful, not peaceful. That's how life works. Life doesn't reward peace. Life doesn't reward peace. Life doesn't even reward the saints, Ninja. A lot of people think that life is just moral. Life doesn't reward you because you're doing the right thing. Ninja, life is amoral. Life is amoral. That's why you can see disgusting people, despicable people rise to power, right? That's why you can see despicable people with money. It does not matter. You can also see good people with money. It does not matter. Life is amoral. So life is not going to reward you because you're taking the peaceful route. Nah, Ninja. No, it doesn't work like that. No, you have to jump into the midst of chaos. You have to jump into the midst of unknown. That's how you get your reward. Not trying to do things the right way, the right way. Cartier says, if only religious ninjas understand that. Talking to a religious ninja is exactly like talking to an atheist. Neither one of them listen. Neither one of them. Right? Talking to a religious ninja is just like talking to an atheist. They one and the same, honestly. Right? And here's another thing. Embrace your enemies. Right? Embrace enemies. Embrace them. Enemies are your best friend. Right? And as a guy who's and let me give the workplace for an example. I was always the guy who came in and always tried to shake hands with people. I always wanted to make friends. I always wanted to, I guess, be accepted in a sense. I was always that guy, right? I was always the guy who came in and try to crack jokes and make people laugh and shake hands and be peaceful, right? Be peaceful with people. Y'all want to know how many times that worked? Y'all want to know how many times that worked? Being the peaceful guy, trying to be the peacemaker ass ninja in this bitch. You want to guess how many times that worked? 0. 0. Always came in it naive, not understanding how life really works. Always came in it with this a good mindset. I'm not, knocking people who come into it with this mindset, but I started to understand that this didn't work. Why isn't this working? Why is it that I come into these environments trying to be a peacemaker, trying to be the nice guy? Society told me to be the nice guy. Society told me to make peace. So why is it that now that I'm experiencing this turmoil, every time I'm trying to be the guy that society told me was the good guy? Well, everything society told me was a lie. The Santa Claus effect. Remember that? Everything society told me was the Santa Claus effect. All of it was a lie. All of it was smoke and mirrors. Right? All of it I had to unlearn to relearn, right? All of it. But guess what happened when I started being cold, right? When I started to be cold, when I started to be more savage, that's when you got people being more respectful. And in actuality, right? In actuality, people fear you more when you become colder. Fuck all that shaking hands and, oh, you want to be friends, you want to go out. No, you still don't get any of that. You still don't get any of that because overall, People are going to find anything and everything to not like you. Doesn't matter if it's family, cousins, aunties, uncles, mama, daddy, co-workers. It doesn't matter. Siblings, ninja. It does not matter. People are going to find something to hate you about. People are going to find something to be jealous about. People are going to find something to be envious about. People are going to find anything about you, ninja. Your nose is crooked, ninja. One of your fingernails is too long, ninja. They don't like you, right? Your shoulders too broad, ninja. It's just something about you, ninja, that I just don't like, ninja. You got too much muscle, ninja. You too pretty, ninja. You too pretty. You look like a pretty boy, ninja. You look like you go and get massages, ninja. These are things that these are things that people have actually told me, ninja. Ninja, you just look like you go and get your nails pedicured and manicured, ninja. I do, ninja. As a matter of fact, sometimes I do it myself, ninja, because I like good upkeep, ninja. Yeah, ninja. I am a pretty nigga. I am a pretty I am a pretty ninja. Yeah. As a matter of fact, you right, ninja. You right. As a matter of fact, I love taking care of myself, ninja. As a matter of fact, I take care of my external and internal, ninja. As a matter of fact, ninja. People are trying to judge you based on looks. People are judge you based on everything. You can't control it. You can't control it. What else can you do? Become cold, become more savage like, not disrespectful, right? Not disrespectful, but colder, more savage like, because that is the only thing people respect, especially now. Well, throughout history. Throughout history, people have always respected the savages. They have always respected the savages. They've never respected the ones who fold. They never respected the ones who take the easy route. No, they respected the ones, and then the ones who do take the savage route, those are the ones who control history. Those are the ones who control the books, ninja. Those are the ones who control the course of everything. The ones who took the risk. There's too many men that don't want to take the risk. JC, exactly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Kel said, funny but sad story. I was called Little Bill back in 2020. Man, shouts out to Little Bill. MSK, what's going on? Kel said, same as lukewarm. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Right? Embrace your enemies, man. I tried to run away from my enemies. I tried to run away from the flame. I tried to run away from chaos. No, embrace it all. Life is chaotic, right? If you're not doing, if you were doing something wrong, you wouldn't have as many enemies, right? People see things in you before you see them in yourselves, right? You may not know that there's something great in you. You may not know who you're actually meant to be, right? But it's all on you. It's all on you. Some people see low frequency, a lot of times they're able to see who you are well before you become who you are, or if you even become that person, because it will still come down to if you take those choices. Now, some of you may not take the choices. Some of you may not make the choices to become who you're supposed to become. Some of you may not, you just may not do it. I keep referring back to only 10%, right? Only 10% of you are actually going to do what needs to be done and make the choices that you need to make to become, right? It's not that people don't have it in them. It's really because people don't have it in them, right? And if you got confused with that, then just replay it in your mind. It's not that people don't have it in them, it's because they don't have it in them. In other words, it may be in you to do, but is it really in you to do? It's not in everybody. And that's why most people will never amount to anything. That's why most people will never amount to anything. They don't enjoy being battle tested. They cry at every little, they cry at every little way, they cry at every little turning point, right? And this is honestly why this is my theory, right? This is why some dudes actually need families. Now, this is where I understand where families and women come into play, because some of you actually need a woman. In actuality, some of you actually need kids, right? You need something, right? Because everybody can't operate on something, you know, intangible, right? Some people need tangible things that they can look at and say, you know what? I'm doing it for that person. You know what? I'm doing it for my kid. You know what? I'm doing it for my wife, right? Some of you actually need something tangible that you can reach out and touch, Ninja, that you can reach out and touch and give you a reason to go above and beyond, right? Now I'm starting to really understand. Like sometimes I guess wives are needed, Ninja. I guess children are needed after all, huh, Ninja? But in the same breath, I have to say that those days are gone, Ninja. Those days are gone. Those are things that men used to be able to rely on. Men used to rely on having women, having wives, having children, giving them that motivation to go out here and die for the country, having motivation to get out here and build skyscrapers, Ninja. That motivation used to be there. Now you ninjas, you're gonna have to find another source of motivation, Ninja. You're gonna have to find another source of motivation, right? That's why many of you are losing, right? Because you're still programmed. Dang, I need a woman. I need a woman to motivate me, right? Me personally, I think is weak, right? I think is weak because if you need a woman to motivate you, I mean, are you really a man? Are you really a leader, right? Are you really a leader, right? Do you have a set of cojones like between your legs, Ninja? Are you like, why do you need a woman to motivate you? Huh? Why do you need a woman to motivate you? You're supposed to be a self-starter. That's just my opinion. But I recognize and understand the men who may need that, right? Cartier says, I climb every day regardless of what happens in life. And that's what I mean. Yep, they need to see that fruit dangling before they start climbing up the mountain, right? They have to see it. Many people they want to see the end of the rainbow. They want to see the pot of gold at the end. They have to see it, right? For them to make that first move. Ninja, I don't have to see anything, right? You understand how long how long I've been doing this, right? First and foremost, let's just take it. Let's just take it to the YouTube first and foremost, right? Imagine this, and some of you guys have started YouTubes, right? Some of you guys have started YouTube channels, right? Let me tell y'all this for you guys who want to start social media, who want to start YouTube channels. Ninja, I remember when I first started, right? When I first started pushing out videos, Ninja, I don't know what was in me or what kind of, you know, I guess further intelligence that I had or some future intelligence that I had. But bro, I was just like, I have a message and I want to push it out. I have something that I want to do. I have something that I want to communicate to men, right? I want to build a community of men, right? That I didn't have growing up. I wanted to build something that I didn't have, right? So regardless, if I remember getting 5 views on the video, 1 view, 0 views, I would have 0 views on a video for like a month, right? Imagine what that could do to a person's self-esteem. Imagine what seeing 0 views could do to a person's self-esteem, right? But I kept pushing out videos for whatever reason. Even when I was seeing 0 views, I was still pushing out videos. I was up here talking, basically talking to myself, but I kept putting them out. I kept putting them out. Then I started to see, okay, 5 views. Listen, when you first starting YouTube, 5 views. Oh, somebody's watching. Somebody watched it. Then you get that one comment. It's like, hey, bro, I watched your video. This was a good video. Shouts out to you. I'm gonna keep watching. Then you start to get your subscribers, right? 10 subscribers. Then next thing you know, 40 subscribers, right? And then after that, after you start gaining subscribers, 50, then you hit 100, then you're like, okay, I can really do this. Right? Then getting that, then now the next challenge. Remember, I said, tackle chaos, embrace the chaos, embrace it all, right? Embrace the turmoil, embrace the unknown, ninja. Imagine if I would have stopped, right? Because, I was mentally drained, or because nobody was watching my videos, right? Because what? Imagine if I had stopped, right? But I kept going. I kept going because I had something that I wanted to push. I kept going because I believed in myself, right? And then eventually, Ninja, you get to monetization. Like, okay, Ninja monetize. Now I can make money off of this shit. Now I can make money off of this, Ninja. The next thing you know, people replaying, people posting your videos. Next thing you know, you're getting tons of comments, right? Next thing you know, a big YouTuber, right, reviews your video. Next thing you know, you going viral, ninja. Next thing you know, you almost about to hit 10,000, ninja. The rest is history. Imagine if I would have stopped because I was weak-minded. Imagine if I would have stopped because I wanted a peace of mind, ninja. I was doing YouTube in when I was in between jobs, ninja. When I didn't have a job, ninja. I was doing YouTube when my pockets was on flat zero, ninja. When my pockets were on flat zero, ninja, I would still come home and push out a video and I wasn't getting paid for it, ninja. I wasn't getting paid a single cent from YouTube. But I was still pushing out videos even when I didn't have a job, ninja. Still came back out, pushed videos for the audience that I did have. And if you're not willing to endure that kind of pressure, if you're not willing to endure that kind of stress, ninja, you might as well not start. As a matter of fact, you might as well not do anything in life because you don't have what it takes. Right? And there's still a next level that I have to get to, ninja. There's other levels that I'm trying to attain to, ninja. Next is I'm still trying to get to 10,000, ninja. We right around the corner though, ninja. We right around the corner though, ninja. I got to get to 10,000. Then what's next after that? Then 20,000, 25,000, which we're going to achieve that in the next year. Guarantee it. Next is 50. Next is 100,000, right? Then we're trying to grow the private chat, JC, right? We're trying to grow the private chat, right? If you didn't get on to the private chat when I tried to give it to members, you shit out of luck now. So next thing, I'm gonna open it up to everybody, and then I'm charging for you to get into the chat anyway because I only want high level thinkers over there. I only want certain kind of men over there. So ninja, y'all was out of luck. For all the members you didn't get in, tough titty, ninja. Tough titty is monetized now. I try to give you ninjas a chance. But I've been doing this for a minute, for a good minute. I've been hustling. I've been grinding. I've been enduring. I've been putting my mind under constant stress, right? I've been depressed as well. I've wanted to give up as well. Don't think that I'm just out here willy-nilly just carrying a torch without any issues at all. No, ninja. I've had my issues. I had my fair share of issues. I've been depressed. I've been down and out, ninja. Right? I put a pause on YouTube at one point because life was out of order, ninja, and I was trying to get things back intact, ninja. Yeah. So imagine that. Imagine that. Hey, Kels, you're gonna have to super chat. You talking about things that have nothing to do with the topic, Kels. Right? You're talking about shit that doesn't have anything to do with the topic. If you're not gonna comment on anything dealing with the topic, don't come in my chat. Don't come in my chat. If you have a question, you have something that you want to get off your chest, then Kel, super chat. Super chat. If you say anything else, Ninja, you'll get sniped. And that's that. And the only way to win, and this is the secret sauce, right? This is the secret sauce. If you haven't noticed, because I read a stat, did you guys know that we have reached peak? And when I say peak, we have reached peak suicide rates in America. Right? I actually look it up for you guys right now. We've reached peak deletion rates in America on record. We've reached 149, 150,000 deletions. And this is the highest ever seen on record. And I'm not here to make fun of anybody, dealing with anything, any kind of depression or anything. But part of the reason that this is happening is because, and then of course, men make a good majority of this up, right? Men make a good majority of this up. And I'm not trying to make fun of anybody who's dealing with any kind of mental illness or nothing like that. That's not what I'm trying to do. But a big part of this is many have become weak and docile. Many men have become weak and docile, right? Kels wanted to talk about gooning. Gooning is a weakness, right? Addiction to corn is a weakness. It is meant to break down your barriers. It is meant to break down your psychological barriers, your emotional barriers, everything. It is meant to break down your barriers so you have no guard against these kind of mechanisms, right? That's why some guys, they can sit. There's guys who can sit at home and jack their little Peter whacker multiple times in a day. 6 times in a day. Dude, how? There's guys who sit at home and watch corn. They go to work and watch corn. Right? In the bathroom, they have to get their corn in. Right? They subscribe to OnlyFans. They're gooning on Twitter. They're gooning on YouTube. You can goon on YouTube as well. There's some content on YouTube as well. You can goon on almost any platform. There's something for everybody. But it is meant to break down all of your barriers so you have no fight in you. Right? You're meant to touch flesh and blood. You're meant to go and chase. You're meant to go and capture. You're meant to pray after a woman, and not in a negative way, not in a weirdo way. That's not what I'm talking about. Right? You're meant to go out here and be productive so you can get the woman that you want, or pay for the woman that you want. You're meant to go out here and gather resources to be able to be involved in what you want to be involved in. Which is, if that was the woman that you wanted to be involved with, you would go out, right? Impress her with your resources, right? Do the little peacock dance, ninja, right? Do the little, hit it. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Hit her with the dance, ninja. That's what you were meant to do. Right? But many men aren't doing it anymore. Right? Cartier says, no cap, there was a ninja where I worked at who would beat off in a toilet before the shift starts. Ninja, I knew dudes who would open up corn at work, ninja. Right? I knew dudes would show me corn at work, ninja. Dang, what you think about her, ninja? She getting her back blown out, ninja. Like, yeah, what you think about her, ninja? Yeah, she look good, don't she? That thing fat, ain't it, ninja? Like, yeah, that thing fat, ain't it? Especially the old dudes. Yeah, that thing fat, ain't it, young blood? You wouldn't know what to do with that. You wouldn't know what to do with that. Or showing me some pictures of a corn star. Look at this one right here, young blood. You wouldn't know what to do with that. That's a big old booty, ain't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. Seen ninjas completely chill. Like, you know how you can pull up Netflix on your phone? Dudes just sit back at work like it's Netflix, ninja. Be sitting there chilling, eating their lunch, watching corn. Swear to God, ninja. Swear to God. Ninjas will pull up corn like it's Netflix. Pull up corn like it's Netflix. Now, if you don't think we have a problem, ninja, I don't know what to tell you. There's an extreme problem, ninja. Young blood is wild. Yeah, but this is what's happening. They pull it up like it's nothing. I've rode the train. Ninja, I've literally sat behind somebody full blown watching corn. Right? Full blown watching corn, ninja, on a train. Right? You can't make this up. You can't make it up. They ninjas been gooning since before the word gooning came out. Ninja were prepping. Ninjas were already prepping before they got home. Ninjas were already prepping before they got home. They were making sure they had their corn lined up. Yeah, when I get home, you know what's gonna happen to you. Ninja talking to his Piggly Wiggly. Yeah, when I get home, I'ma jack the shit out of this. When I get home, I'ma jack the. Oh, you already know what's about to happen to you. I'm I'm gonna get you the good lotion. Ninja already got it made up in their mind. Yeah, I gotta get it to this one. I gotta get it to this one. But men have become mentally weak. That's why we're seeing a drastic increase in corn. I mean, not in corn, in deletion rates. Right? Nobody wants to embrace war anymore. War builds character. Many people are straying away from war. War with themselves, war with people, right? And when I say war, I'm just talking about choosing a hard route. I'm just talking about developing, right? Molding yourself. People are straying away from it. People are all on social media, right? Thinking that things is just supposed to be handed to them because they see other people living the life that they want, right? Many of those people, they've achieved that. Some people started early, right? You can't compare to people who started 10 years before you. There are YouTubers right now who are my age and younger, like they're making millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they started at like 16, 17, ninja. They already put their 10 years in. They already put their years in. And it just so happened that they're now 27. It just so happened that now they're 28. It just so happened that now they're living out the fruits of their labor, ninja. You have to put work in, ninja. Right? And that's what I tell people all the time. People are like, oh, you almost at 10,000 subs. You almost at 10,000. How you do that? Consistency, working, grinding, right? Embracing war, ninja. Going to war with myself, right? Fighting with this side and that side, right? Oh no, you can sleep a little bit more. Oh no, ninja, you need to get up, ninja. It's time to go to work, ninja. Nah, you can sleep a little bit more. Oh no, ninja, it's time to work, ninja. Remember that Corvette that you want, ninja? You trying to buy that cash, ninja. You know that Corvette that you want, ninja? Yeah, that Corvette right there, ninja. You trying to buy that cash, ninja? Oh, this out pulling me. Nah, it can wait a little longer, ninja. It's okay. It can wait a little longer. Ninja, you sick right now, ninja. Just lay down a little bit. and it'll be all good. You don't have to go to the gym. Nah, ninja, get yourself up. Go to the gym, ninja. Actually, working out beats sickness, ninja. It's actually going to make you better. It's actually going to build your immune system up if you go to the gym while you're sick. Nah, ninja, don't listen to him, ninja. He don't know what he's talking about. You need some rest, ninja. You need some rest, ninja. Just lay down, go back to sleep, ninja. Nah, ninja, you got to get up. It's money to be made out here, ninja. Don't you want to live by example, ninja? Don't you got people that you preach to, ninja? Don't you got people that you were relaying a message to, ninja? You got to get up and get it, ninja. It's time to make money, ninja. You said you want to make a 250,000, ninja. You said you want to make a 250,000, ninja. You want to make 250,000, ninja. Ninja, it's time to get up. Don't worry, 120 is fine. Don't worry. 120 is fine. You're doing better than most people. It's okay. Just sit back and relax. Just rest. Don't listen to that ninja. He don't know what he's talking about, ninja. You want to go above and beyond, ninja. You arrogant ass ninja. You arrogant ass ninja. You want to do above and above and beyond, ninja. You want to flex on ninjas. Don't you got haters you want to flex on? Don't you got enemies that you want to flex on? Don't you have family members that turned their back on you, ninja, that you want to flex on? Remember that girl back in high school, ninja, that called you ugly, ninja? Look at you now, ninja. Look at you now. This is what happens when you keep putting in that work, ninja. I know you glowed up too, ninja, but look at you, ninja. Don't you want to flex on that bitch? Don't you want to flex on her, ninja? Come on now. That's exactly how the mind works. Exactly how you're gonna be pulled. You're gonna be pulled either way. That's the war, ninja. That's the war. And guess what? Guess what side is stronger? Guess what side is stronger? The weak voice. The weak voice is stronger because the weak voice, it leans into what you want to do anyway. It is in our nature to choose that route. It's not in our nature to choose the worst way to go, right? The way that's going to mean that you got to put in a bunch of work. It is not in our nature to do that. It's in our nature to choose this route, the weak route, because it sounds comfortable. It sounds comfortable to us. We want to sit back and chill, want to get a little bit of sleep in, right? Do I have to go to the gym today? That side sounds more comfortable, the weak side. So we tend to listen to that side. JC says, at 14, my dad shit talked my driving in GTA. He said, why don't you save for a real car? Dang. That is something the dad would say. Haven't stopped working ever since. That's crazy. He didn't say, basically, your dad said a lot. He said a lot without saying anything at all. That's crazy. He cooked with that one. You out there playing, imagine playing GTA at 14. Dad walked in. Hey, little ninja, how about you save for a real car? Maybe the hoes will really like you. Then just walk out the room. Ninja, you forever traumatized. Now you looking at the game. You don't even want to play the game. Ninja done threw the controller down like mad. Ninja done punched the wall and everything. Your dad knew you wasn't getting no hoes. He knew you wasn't getting no hoes. So he really told you the truth, but he dug deep in there, Ninja. He was like, yeah, how about you save up for a real car so you can get some real hoes, ass Ninja. Ninja stopping. Y'all know, y'all remember San Andreas stopping at the corner, picking up the little prostitutes. How about you save for a real car, Ninja, so you can actually experience a real woman, Ninja? Then just walk out the room, close the door, Ninja. Ninja remember that for the rest of his life, Ninja. That's cold. That's cold. But the goal is to be cold. The goal is to be cold. Right? Don't be weak out here. Don't be all hee and ha and Ninja. Don't nobody respect the hee ha, the hyena ass Ninja. Don't nobody respect that. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from the hee ha and hyena ass Ninja. Right? I'm speaking from the, oh, let's shake hands and, be friends ass Ninja. Right? Nah, give me all the enemies. I've become that cold. Right? Yeah, I know I sit up here and laugh and hee and ha and with y'all and all that stuff, but really I'm cold as shit. Cold as shit. But I've had to. Right? The places that I need to get to, you have to be able to mold yourself into a different person. You can never stay the same. This is what I've had to learn. What's required of you at this level is not required of you at this level, right? You have to change depending on the level that you're at. You have to change depending on the levels that you want to get to, right? You have to adapt in general, right, to survive in this world. Because the nice, they get eaten alive, right? The sweet, the kind-hearted get eaten alive, right? You get thrown in a pond with the alligators, ninja. They don't want you around. You're easy prey. I had to learn that. And now I'm the predator, ninja. Now I'm sitting back and watching ninjas. Now I'm sitting back and watching the gazelles, watching back and forth, ninja. Which ninja I want to eat today? Any, many, miny, mo, ninja. Now I'm sitting back and evaluating, ninja. Now I'm sitting back and plotting, ninja. I don't care if I got to sit back for 2 years and plot, ninja. That's what I'm going to do because I'm going to get my get back. Ninja, I got a list, ninja. I got a list of people, ninja. I have a list of people. This is my motivation, ninja. And say what you want to. Say what you want to. Right? But I have a list. I'm putting cases on each. I'm putting cases on each and every one of you ninjas. I'm putting cases on I got cases on everybody. I got cases on each and every one of you ninjas. Remember that bitch right there? I remember her. Yep. I remember that cousin right there. Yep, sure did. I got something for him. Yep, I remember that auntie right there. I remember what she said. I got some for that ass. Yes, sir, I do. I remember that coworker. Remember he threw me under the bus and tried to get me fired. I remember that. Yeah, I'm gonna remember that for the rest of my life. Yes, sir, I will. Remember that manager? Remember that manager? He was talking all that crap. And he tried to throw me up under the bus to the supervisor. Remember, he tried to get me. Yeah, I remember that. Yes, sir. I got something for him too. I got something for everybody. Ninja, I'm the type, I'll sit back for 5 years, ninja. I become so diabolical with it, ninja. I'll sit back for 5 years, ninja, plotting, waiting on my opportunity. Waiting, ninja. See, me and instant gratification, we're not friends. Instant gratification, I've been through that away. Instant gratification, what is that? I don't know what that is, ninja. All I know is patience, right? Because the only thing that has shown me true results is longevity. Nothing has ever came to me that was worth holding on to in a short term, ninja. Everything that I have right now is because I waited patiently. Long term, ninja. My muscle growth, the reason why I look like this, ninja, this didn't happen overnight, ninja. I remember a guy approached me in the gym, right? A guy approached me in the gym yesterday, right? He was just like, bro, I'm trying to get my shoulders. I'm trying to get my shoulders. How you got your shoulders? Like, dang, what are you doing? Like, ninja, what are you doing? Like, how your shoulders look like that? How your traps look like that? What are you doing, ninja? What are you doing? Right? And then he asked me, I told him, exact workout I was doing, like simple stuff, right? And he was like, how long do you think, do I have to do it before I get like big shoulders like you? And I straight up looked him in his eyes and I told him, ninja, I've been working out for 10 years, ninja. I've been working out for 10 years, putting in work. I first got serious in the gym around 18, 19 years old, ninja. I've been working out for 10 years straight. Yeah, I'll, drop the ball here and there, miss a few weeks here and there, maybe miss a month, ninja, got the flu or something. I don't know, ninja. It happens to everybody. But I straight up told him, ninja, I put in 10 years, ninja. I put in 10 years to get this. My body just didn't come overnight. This just didn't come overnight. I've been eating right. I've been putting in the right things in my body, right? I've been grinding. I've been consistent in the gym. This is how you get that. And of course, we talked about genetics and stuff like that. That plays a part into all of that as well. But ultimately, it comes down to consistency, just showing up in the gym, right? Start and stick to it. Absolutely. Right? List of hate. Absolutely. I have a long list of hate. Right? I got ninjas that I got vendettas on, which is okay, ninja. I've got people who've done me wrong, ninja. I'm on their ass. Let's get these likes up. Get the likes up. I'm in here spitting. I got a list of people who've done me wrong, absolutely wrong. You think I'm gonna forget, ninja? You think I'm gonna forget? Ninja, forgiveness is for the Lord, ninja, not for me, ninja. Forgiveness is for the Lord, ninja, not for me, ninja. Nah, I'm gonna get my get back. I'm gonna get my get back. And I hope to God each and every one of them ninjas are watching. Oh, yes, I do. I pray each and every one of you who I'm talking about, I pray that you ninjas are watching. Because I'm going to sit back and wait, ninja. 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 I'm going to sit back and wait, ninja, until it's finally time to strike your ass out. Just like that. Strike. Strike. Who's next? Strike him out too. Ninjas don't know how to they don't know how to handle that. Some guys, you have people who really can't handle this side of the fence. They can't handle their shadow selves, right? Y'all remember Naruto? For anime watchers? Remember Naruto? Right? Remember how he just couldn't control the nine-tailed fox, right? As a matter of fact, Naruto is an example of the person that I'm talking about, right? Remember, Naruto's a nice kid, right? Naruto's actually a nice kid, right? He was sweet to everybody, but because of his background, because of where he came from, a poor kid, right? People did not embrace Naruto. He wanted to be liked so bad. He wanted to be embraced so bad. Right? Anybody remember Naruto? He wanted to be embraced so bad. He wanted to be liked so bad. Right? But guess what Naruto had to come into the realization of? Right? Nobody cared about him. Nobody wanted to see him succeed. Right? Everybody was mean to him. Everybody shrugged him away, shoot him away like he was nobody. But guess what Naruto did? Guess what Naruto did? He had to keep putting in mother flipping work. Right? And he still wasn't always the strongest. He still wasn't all the way put together. But guess what Naruto kept doing? He kept showing up until what, ninja? Until he won everything he could, ninja. Naruto kept showing up until he became better, until he became stronger, until he can beat the people who shitted on him, right? Even with the nine-tailed fox. Remember the nine-tailed fox? He couldn't control it at first. Him and the nine-tailed fox was separate, right? But then what happened? He started to learn how to control it, right? He eventually became one with the nine-tailed fox. Now they were on the same page with being released, right? Now he no longer had to have that seal, right? Because now he was the seal. See, ninjas don't want to hear this. You don't want to hear this? I'm spitting the real. Lessons from the after pill, ninja. Lesson from the after pill. Choose war or somebody's going to wage war against you. Choose peace and you won't ever see it, ninja. The moment you realize nobody cares about you when you know it's going to be okay. Yep. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to hold you, ninja. Not even your mama is gonna hold you, ninja. Nobody's coming to save the day. That's it. War creates soldiers. Peace creates a bunch of weak-minded men who don't want to fight for anything, right? Who don't want to grind for anything, who don't want any ninjas don't want any money. Ninjas complaining about dishing out money to women. Ninja, please. You need to change your whole mindset. Change the way that you think about things. Right? If you want peace, the only peace that you will get is peace internally. That's the only peace that you really should be seeking, peace internally. Because if you're all messed up inside, ninja, is over with. You can't get what you need to in the external, right? You can't get out here and achieve what you need to achieve if your internal is all destroyed and chaotic, ninja. The only thing that needs to be centered is the internal. You need to be centered internally. You need to be at peace internally. So when somebody's coming at your head, ninja, when somebody's coming at your head, you don't get off track. You don't get sidetracked, ninja. You stick to the course because all kinds of people are going to be trying to knock your head off, right? Knock you off your pivot, women included. Many. So you have to be centered internally, right? That's the only peace you're going to get. And that's an after pill. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't become a member yet, become a member, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe to TC Prime. Me and TC are going live tomorrow. We're going to be debating on some heated junk. Me and TC, we're going to go back and forth on some heated junk tomorrow. So you don't want to miss that around the same time tomorrow. 8 o'clock Central Standard Time tomorrow. Me and TC Prime will be live. And shouts out to you, ninjas. Shouts out to Jack Frost for the donation, for the super chat, ninja. And this is going under playlists. I made another playlist, Lessons from the After Pill, where I really spit real deal gems, real deal life lessons, real deal things that's going to make you a better man, character-wise, mentally, psychologically, ninja. This is the one that you really want to hear that's really going to make you better, ninja. Anyway, I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.